Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Sports Factory podcast. Today, I got a couple of guests here. The NBA season is almost over. Now, March Madness is happening. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna watch that until it gets to the Final Four, which is in Houston. University of Houston got eliminated, but I don't really care about University of Houston, right? I didn't go there, so but Houston took a little L. It's fine. What I'm gonna talk about is the NBA. Focus on that, and a lot of things have happened in the NBA. And I want to tell you something. And Jared, you're always, the only thing I like about you, Jared, right now is that you're very relevant. Like, this is the first time, like, you are very relevant right now. And I'm gonna tell you something, Jared. Like I said, I think Joel Embiid is probably won the MVP now. Nikola Jokic and that losing streak, like, we jinxed him really hard. We jinxed him like really hard, and that's hilarious. I like that we did that. That's funny. You called him a top 20 player of all time. That's an extreme bias, and obviously, if he doesn't do well this year, that's not going to even be close. You're going to be the only person to ever say that. But Jared, I want to tell you something. Because, and John, you have some. You know about this too, because I'm going to tell you about a friend of mine. Because I'm going to get another rant off. I got a rant off the other day with the Texans, right? I got a good rant off. I'm about to get another rant off right now. The James Harden disrespect throughout my life has been so freaking crazy, and I'm going to tell you right now, Jared. Like I said, you're on the opposite side of the spectrum because Joel Embiid is getting disrespected usually, and now Nikola Jokic is getting disrespected now because of Joel Embiid. I'm gonna tell you, look, I want you. Look, James Harden had 4 chances to win MVP, and I this is why I do not miss that era to an extent, because it was so freaking frustrating when the Russell Westbrooks and the Steph Currys and the Giannis's kept holding me consistently. James Harden definitely should have 2 MVPs. Here's one thing. There's a take someone said. They said LeBron James should have won the 2018 MVP. Right? That's a lie. I said there's no way. There's no. Look, I couldn't. The thing is, I couldn't say anything either because I'm not obviously on that podcast. But there's a rising thing where LeBron should have won more MVPs and he should have won the 2018 MVP. I said, look, y'all keep playing with me. I hate that y'all play with my city so much. Y'all play with Houston too much, bro. James Harden averaged 30 points per game, and his team won 65 games. I literally don't know how you can't win an MVP. If you are the scoring champion and you have the most wins in the whole league, who has ever had that combined together and not won MVP? They telling me, Jared, listen to me. They telling me LeBron James, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the 4 seed. Forget the postseason. 2018 LeBron might be the best player of all time in the postseason. That's not the regular season, though. We don't count that in the regular season, right? They were the 4 seed. Cleveland was struggling. We swept Cleveland. We beat them by 30 points. There's a meme of LeBron staring at Dwayne Wade. You ever see that meme where LeBron just staring at Dwayne Wade like about to trade him? That's because we blew them out so bad. That's the Rockets beat them by over 30. That's why that happened. You telling me that guy, that team, he should win MVP? Look, if LeBron James, I want you, and answer this question for me, and this is how I know. Answer this question. If LeBron James had a 65-win team, no matter if Chris Paul was on it, if he had a 65-win team and he was the scoring champ, would they say that James Harden as the 4 seed would deserve MVP? Would they say that?
Oh, no. Not even close.
I mean, if you include the postseason, then they definitely have an argument. Like, when I watch LeBron play and I watch Harden play, I watch both of them. And when I seen LeBron, he definitely looked more valuable to his team, especially when you got a player like JR doing what he did that year. So I can definitely see the argument, and I kind of agree with them.
Now, look,
but that's including the postseason. I don't watch the
Yes.
regular season, so I wouldn't know.
If you include the postseason, if they said, Jesse, we're going to add the postseason and the regular season, LeBron's clearly the MVP because of the postseason performance. I understand that, but they don't do that. They don't, because Russell Westbrook shouldn't have won MVP then, because Russell Westbrook lost in the first round to the Rockets. So I should have won the MVP that year then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, that's why I'm telling you, they switch the narrative every time. So LeBron, postseason LeBron, yes. But unfortunately, and it's not like James Harden went to the postseason and got swept in the first round of that. Like, he took the freaking greatest team constructed ever to 7 games, took the worst shooting night of all time, and his second best player not being there for them to lose against the greatest team ever. So it's like, it's ridiculous that like if it was Steph Curry, think about it. Steph Curry led the league in scoring, 65 wins. He probably won a unanimous like he did before, right? How the heck James Harden do it? And they say, oh, you know what? Maybe it's LeBron. No, shut up. James Harden should, and here's one thing I would ask those people, those LeBron fans. I'm looking at you, LeBron fans. I'm gonna ask you this. The next year, James Harden averaged 36 a game, right? He got all the numbers because they say LeBron, he had more total points and all that crap the year before. But that's because he's played more games. What the heck? But James averaged 36 a game, right? Giannis won MVP, though. Why did Giannis win MVP? Because the team won 60 games, right? And they were the 1 seed. Won MVP. James Harden had 36 a game. Remember Russell Westbrook, that stupid triple-double gave it to him because of them stupid stats? James Harden averaged 30 points for 30 straight games. He didn't win MVP, though. He was a 4 seed. Why didn't give it to him then? Because they should have gave it to him. If LeBron deserved MVP in 2018, James Harden deserved MVP in 2019. Because you cannot tell me winning is a factor. Winning, like, the 4 seed won it. If you wanted the 4 seed to win it with Cleveland and LeBron, then how come I don't get a shot for it when I'm the 4 seed, but I'm averaging 36? LeBron ain't averaged 36. He averaged like 27 points a game. He ain't doing nothing special that regular season. He just played 82 games. Okay, you want a cookie? You show up to work every day? Oh, congratulations. I don't freaking care. Nah. They hold my man so much. Even when he wins, they try to make him lose. I'm like, no, bro, shut up. He's clearly, there has never been a time in history where the scoring champion and the guy with the most wins in the league doesn't win MVP. Never. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant,
how many
never.
games did he miss 2018?
He missed 10 games.
And out of those games, did they lose all 10 or like what happened?
No, that would be terrible because we didn't lose them. We probably were like 6-4, 7-3, something like that.
So did he seem like super valuable?
Yes, he look. See, because look at you trying to get that. At the same,
I'm
Chris
just
Paul.
asking.
But who else
I'm
missed?
just asking.
But did you know Chris Paul missed games? Chris Paul missed the first 3 weeks of the season, and we had an amazing record without Chris Paul. And look,
when he went down, so
yeah, but look. And here's another thing, because you say that, right?
Kinda
So
right.
when Steph Curry won MVP, 73-win team or 67-win team, and I was like, James Harden deserved MVP because this is James Harden starting 5. Think about it. This is the 2014. See, look at you. I know that's why he switched the goalposts. 2014-15. This is James Harden starting 5. Jason Terry, old ass Jason Terry, James Harden, Trevor Ariza, Donatas Modiunas. You don't know who that is. Joey Dorsey. You don't know who that is. Steph Curry had freaking Klay Thompson. He scored 37 in a quarter. How you win MVP? You got a guy who just scored 37 points in a quarter. That's an NBA record. You have Draymond Green, Defense Player of the Year candidate. His team was clearly better, right? James Harden had a worse team. James Harden had better stats, but guess what? Gave it Steph Curry because he had the most wins. So why change it now? Why say, Chris Paul with James Harden got hurt. Chris Paul was there and they won 7 out of 10 games. Well, when Steph Curry ever got hurt, or when he got hurt, he was still able to win games because they had freaking Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, an entire system of great players.
But if you take Curry off that team, it's like I don't know about Harden.
If you take Harden off the Rockets, you suck.
With Chris Paul,
if you take Curry off of the if you take Curry off of the Golden State Warriors, they're still a 50-win team. Chris Paul obviously is a good player, but Klay Thompson and Draymond Green combined is better than just Chris Paul. That's 2 All-Stars to 1.
I mean, they're 2 All-Stars, but I don't know about that. I don't.
Draymond Green defensive.
If it was Draymond, no. I'm not disrespecting Draymond. I like Draymond, and he's a great player. But I'm saying it's also system, because it's also a system in place, and you take Curry out that system, and it's just like the exact team that you're talking about. Take Curry out, and who will be the starting point guard?
I think Sean Livingston, the mid-range god, Sean Livingston.
So you saying that same team will have the same success?
Of course,
just as much?
if you take away a superstar player, they will have less success, but they're going to still be good. They will still be better. Their system's amazing. They still have the top 5 shooter of all time and Klay Thompson going around them screens. Obviously, Steph Curry is more important than everyone, but Draymond Green is actually almost as important, if not almost equally as important to their success because of his defensive impact and his playmaking.
I'm not saying Draymond. I know how important Draymond is.
The Rockets with Chris Paul, and Eric Gordon.
System in place.
I know, but the Rockets with Chris Paul and Eric Gordon, they'll win. We can beat up a couple teams, right? We're not obviously going to go very far and win a championship. Same with Steph Curry, but I believe the Warriors will go further. They're a better team. The 73-win Warriors without Steph Curry is still a better team than our Rockets without James Harden. So you take Steph Curry, take Harden now, it's like equal. If you say, okay, you take my superstar, take your superstar, I think they would beat us. They'll still be, their system's better too. They would beat us just totally.
You talking about the team with Chris Paul?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
James Harden had all his people get hurt and dropped a 60-point triple-double to win the game. That has never happened before. 60 points, it's only happened twice now. Luka just did it. Everybody dropping 60 now though anyways, but a 60-point triple-double. Nah, look. I know you try to do devil's advocate. Well, we don't talk. This the MVP award. I know it's the. No one's ever. No one's ever done that. No one's ever done that before. It's about is the postseason. Okay. No one's ever dropped 60 points.
That's a legitimate question.
Why would you? But look, I'm talking about the MVP. The MVP is not a postseason award.
But I'm referring back to that podcast you're talking about.
They said, look,
that's obviously hindsight that they're speaking from. Unless that podcast came out in 2018,
it didn't. Look, obviously, yes.
You should include that. I think you should.
I'm not going. I'm not going talking because Nikola Jokic's MVPs would be for naught. Jared's whole existence go away because he got swept and he lost in 5. So no, you don't count the postseason. Dirk Nowitzki's postseason when he lost to the 8th seed, was the 1 seed. That goes away too. We don't count the postseason. You get the finals MVP. That's the MVP you should try to get for the postseason. But the MVP award in every sport has always been a regular season award. Every time. I'm not going to change it because it goes against James Harden. I'm not going to change it now. No. we go keep it like it's been the entire time. James Harden has had a very good argument of winning it. LeBron could win an MVP every year he chooses. He just doesn't choose to because he wants to save himself for the postseason. LeBron is obviously a better player. He would obviously win the MVP if he wanted to. And he obviously was better in the postseason. And if they counted that, he'd be the MVP. But they didn't. So no, Steph Curry blew a 3-1 lead when he won MVP. Should we take it away, give it to LeBron? No, I'm not going to do that for James Harden. No.
But he still made it to the final. It's not like even if he did blow a 3-1 lead, it's not like he...
Harden makes the conference finals of 3-2, freaking lost his second best player and everything went to hell. Like, Harden went far. He didn't get swept or lost in 5.
Paul was the MVP of that team then, right?
If you face it, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, all them people, you don't think I need my second best player with me?
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but at the same time, I think like what LeBron, that's why I'm only fighting for him. 2018 LeBron. I don't know about anything else. I watched those games and I watched.
Yes, he's
even though
better.
It was only one. No, I know. I'm not saying about better. I'm just saying valuable because that's what we're talking about. I'm not talking about better or not. I'm talking about when I watched that. I don't watch the regular season, so that's probably why I'm going so hard for LeBron.
Because that makes sense.
In the postseason.
Yes, he was more valuable in the post. Yeah, LeBron is the most valuable player on the planet. Like, he literally could win MVP every year. He just doesn't choose to do it for the regular season. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, okay, say somebody's averaging 30 a game, 30-point triple-double like Russell Westbrook, all that, right? Obviously, LeBron's better than all these people. He can win the MVP. But if he's not trying to win MVP, I was like, well, LeBron's only averaging 26. But, he's better. I'm letting him win MVP because he's most better. No, it's what you have produced in that regular season. Now, if they added the postseason, of course. But look, Jared, just going back to Jared, his team, Nikola Jokic, like his whole existence, he didn't do nothing in the postseason. They're getting on Nikola Jokic right now because as an MVP, he's done nothing in the postseason. So don't come with James Harden makes the conference finals. Game 7 against Golden State was up 15 at half until we get that stupid Golden State run. Freaking Scott Foster ruining my entire existence, and I didn't have Chris Paul, and we only lost the game by 9 points.
You said that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You said they're coming at him for not doing anything in the postseason?
Yeah, Nikola Jokic.
So, it kind of sound like
James Harden
criteria.
Look, yes. In hindsight, yes. But look.
Okay, that's what we're referring to.
He's losing. Nikola Jokic got swept, right, in the second round. And he lost in 5. Now, we could say, hey, those 2 times he didn't have his best players, right? Understandable. But if we're going to give him another MVP award, right, he has to show that he's worth the MVP. James Harden, when he won MVP, did not lose in the first round like a Russell Westbrook or a Dirk Nowitzki. His team went to the conference finals. Obviously, Chris Paul was definitely needed. Just like James Harden, we're not going to the conference finals without either. But we took the greatest iteration of team ever, like greatest, most talented team ever, to 7 games. And they were literally worried that they was going to lose until we lost Chris Paul. Because you need your second best player to fight against 4 all-time greats at the same time. You need that. That is something, you need all of that. I didn't have that. We still had a lead. It's just we had the worst shooting night in all of history. And Scott Foster, we remember you forever. Scott Foster helped Jared a couple weeks ago when they ejected Scotty Barnes for no reason. Scott Foster did help you out. But Scott Foster, so Toronto fans hate him too. But Scott Foster, I'm always going to remember that. Chris Paul never wins with Scott Foster. James Harden barely wins with Scott Foster. If I see a Scott, Zach, I'm telling you, about to be entered into this postseason discussion. You see Scott Foster, Game 7, you face the Golden State, tough. You better pack your bags. You better say, it's up, it's wraps. That's
why I'm hoping we play the Timberwolves. They ain't getting no help.
Oh yeah, Timberwolves, they ain't got no plot. But Golden State definitely has a lot of plot. So hey, Game 7, and I can see a Scott Foster Game 7. I can see that. So Zach,
We
get
play
ready.
Warriors. It's wraps first.
Yeah, he knows plot. That's what I'm saying. Look, Jared, your guy. If they ask me right now, who has the most, like who is the most pressure right now to win a championship or do well? A lot of people ain't saying your guy. Your guy has, obviously James Harden is high up there as well, but Joel Embiid is the best player now. So Joel Embiid obviously has that too. So if James plays well and Joel doesn't play well, it's like there's a two-way tandem with that. Jared, it's your guy. It's not even like to win a championship. If you go to conference finals and lose in 6 or 7, or make it to the finals and lose, we're fine. Your guy has the most pressure though, because the hate your guy has reminds me of classic Harden right now. Reminds me of prime Harden, because they hate your guy. They are roasting, and you're facing Joel Embiid in a couple of days. Oh my gosh, win that game. That's how I tell you.
That's a big game. That's a huge game.
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell all of y'all. I followed all of my MVP races very closely. I know exactly when James Harden lost his MVPs. I know the exact games. First game, 2014-15, Steph Curry won it, right? Gave it to freaking Steph Curry, pissed me off. Reason why James Harden lost, he was the 2 seed. He faced San Antonio. San Antonio clamped him to hell. The West was close. You lose one game in the West. We were the 2 seed. You lose one game, you drop to the 6 seed. It's like what it is now, just everyone at 50 wins. We lost to San Antonio. We dropped to the 6 seed. They say, oh, hell no. We ain't getting MVP to the 6 seed. We eventually came back to the 2 seed. They said, no, it's too late. It was too late. We didn't like you dropped anyways. Steph Curry's MVP. Next time, Russell Westbrook when he won MVP. James Harden had a bad wrist. He didn't take care of it because he won't play every game. That's the time once you're low managed, but he didn't do it that day. We lost to the Clippers. Russell Westbrook went to Denver, dropped a 50-point triple-double. Game winner. Remember that, Jared?
I do.
Pissed me off. I said, dang.
Man, that sounds like an MVP to me.
Don't talk about some MVP. No, that's a good throw though. That's a good throw. James Harden put up 50-point triple doubles that year too. James Harden put up a 53, 17, 16 game. But at the end of the season, Russell Westbrook put up that 50-point triple double with the game winner. That's gonna sway the voters, and it swayed them away from James. Fine. And then against Giannis, when Giannis won the MVP, we faced the Oklahoma City Thunder. We were the 2 seed, dropped to the 4th seed because we lost that game. Jared, I'm telling you right now, lose this game. See what happens.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Lose this game and see what happens to you, boy. That's it. Jared, it's over. Like, there's nothing you can do. You can win. Average 30 points, 30-point triple over. It don't matter. It's Embiid. Period. You need this. You need to. And look, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna hype you up. Last time Embiid played y'all, he dropped 47 on you, right?
Yeah.
He dropped 46 or whatever on the Warriors the other day because Draymond Green said your guy was the hardest person to guard. I'm telling you, look. Oh man, he waking up for that game. He waking up. He coming to Denver. He waking up for that game. He trying to get 50. I'm telling you, look, I'm gonna watch that game too. That is a closely observed game. You need to go off. I know Jokic be having these like 20-point games. He trying to he don't shoot the ball as much. Say try to get it. F all that. Take 35 shots. We need you to go. We need points. I need to get 40 on him. You need to drop 40, 20, and 10. I need something like that. You need that because if he's going for your throat. You hear me?
Yeah. Gotta establish dominance.
Oh boy. Hey, Jared, I know you were like chill about all this postseason stuff, man. I don't know anymore, bro. It's tough. I don't know. Because you have to face the Lakers in the first round, and bro, it's just like, that's so stupid for you.
Yeah, it's worse now after this losing streak. And it was only like 4 games and then we won again. But it was the teams we faced and lost to. Like, they're not good teams. And it's just kind of embarrassing. And tonight we play the Bucks. I think we need to win that one too.
Ooh, that's another MVP. Ooh, yeah. you got those are your 2 games? That's the 2 games y'all playing?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, if Jokic struggles these 2
Yeah.
Oh, Jared, boy, that is interesting. Yo, no, I'm not. I want Jokic to succeed. If we face the Bucks, if Jokic goes off these next 2 games, he's the MVP. If Jokic loses these next 2 games, he lost the MVP. I don't know what this MVP. I'm curious. Do y'all know what does winning another MVP do for his legacy? Do you know what another does that increase his legacy if he wins 3 straight, or does that make it the same? Like, what does that do for his legacy? If you have
I
any
would
idea.
say it increases it, not by a ton, but I mean he'd be the first. Is he the first center to win 3 in a row?
Oh no, that happened twice. It's actually Yeah, Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain did. But it was in the 60s. That was one a lot of black players back then. So, yeah, that makes sense. But Larry Bird did it when it was more black players. In the mid-'80s. He was a pretty good player, too. Those are some all-time greats, though. They went to the finals in those years. Besides Wilt. But they went to the finals. Jokic ain't went to the finals. You know, you got to, you know. Because, hey, look, and John, I'm curious. I'm curious about what you think. What do you know about, because I know you don't watch basketball a lot, but, like, what do you know about Nikola Jokic? Do you think, like, if you watched him play, do you think he's good? If you haven't watched him play, are you just intrigued? Like, what do you think of him?
Honestly, I don't know much about him, to be honest. I mean, I seen him play. I see highlights and things of that nature. He seems like a solid player, top center in the league, but honestly, I don't know much. I don't. Hey, like you, after 2018, I kind of stopped watching and caring for basketball that much. I was at 2019. The year that we lost to the Warriors, yeah, I kind of like just stopped.
I know it hurt. I know it hurt. The freaking loss is stuck. And I also want to bring in Zach. Zach, I'm curious. Your Sacramento Kings are like the 3 seed. We thought the Grizzlies would fall off. They did not fall off. John Morant's grittying right back to relevancy. Good for him. Hey, you know, mental health's important. Don't flash guns on IG no more. I don't know. Don't try to be like King Von, okay? Zach, so we thought the Grizzlies were out, but they're obviously not, so they're very relevant. The West is very stacked, and you can easily face the Golden State Warriors, or you can easily face the LA Clippers, or you can face even the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant come back in the first round, which isn't the best way to introduce yourself to postseason play. So out of those 3 teams I just named to you, which one would you rather play?
I'd say probably the Timberwolves. I mean,
I didn't say Timberwolves. I said those 3. You're the 3 seed, right? You're the 3 seed, right?
Yeah.
So you're facing the 6 seed. The Timberwolves are not going to make. I hope to God the Timberwolves stay in the playing game. F all that. I don't want to see the Timberwolves make the
I think they're all within 1 game, right?
Yeah, I hope. I can't take Karl Anthony Towns be changing his voice too. He tried. No, I don't got time for that. They're an interesting team. Rudy Gobert and all that. I'm the other teams I care about. So the 3 teams I'm gonna tell you: the Suns with KD, the Clippers, and the Warriors. That's a hopefully better matchup for you. Like that's a more interesting matchup. Who would you rather face out of those 3?
Clippers.
Oh, they did. Paul George just he what happened to his knee? His knee like buckled.
It was a hyperextension. He'll be back.
Okay, it looked like he was out for like I thought the Clippers
looked like a torn ACL, but it was just a hyperextension. So he got like the best luck he could have got.
Thank goodness, Kawhi Leonard should have stayed.
I don't want him to get injured. You know, Paul George is an awesome player. So
he's a good player. Like I think the Clippers are cursed. I'm sorry, it's just they're cursed. Like definitely Kawhi Leonard. Because, John, you said last time you watched basketball was that 2018-19 season. That was a great season because Toronto was very interesting. And they won the championship, right? I wanted him to stay in Toronto so bad. Like, the Clippers, I knew they got no plot. Toronto obviously got plot. They just won a championship. That's a great amount of plot, right? LeBron went to the next conference now. No more LeBron told. So now he in the other conference. And he didn't even make the postseason. Now they ain't really got to worry about him. Freaking KD got hurt and Clay. I know Katie got hurt against me, but definitely Clay was still destroying us. Game 6, Clay is still a thing. They both got hurt against Toronto. So even though Toronto was likely going to lose that series with those guys playing, they won because they have plot, and that's beautiful. And I was like, Golden State's plot finally ran out. Until it didn't. They won a couple years later. But dang, man. I mean, I'm curious. Okay, and Zach, I don't know if you really answered this because your team wasn't very good, but like what's better? What hits better now? Like basketball now or basketball, say back when we were in college, right? So that's, this 2018, 19, 17, 18 season. Like what basketball? Because obviously for me, I'm gonna say basketball back then hit better because I had a guy averaging 30 and having all these interesting battles. Now my team's freaking terrible and we just lost by like 40 to the Grizzlies. Some guy just shot 10 for 11 from 3 the other day, and he's not even the like superstar player. He's just off the bench guy. But like, what hit better, basketball now or basketball back then? Anyone can answer.
I'll say back then as well. I felt like back then I used to see highlights, I used to see clips, I used to see I used to keep up with the stats. I know what teams are winning. I know like the seeding and everything. Like right now, I don't know any of that, and I'm still it's the same involvement. Like when I go on Twitter, I guess. Maybe because I was a Rockets fan, so I've seen a lot of Rockets highlights and things of that nature. But right now, I don't know. Like, Like, I didn't know they were the 3 seed. I didn't even, so.
The Kings make the playoffs for the first time since you were like 9.
Yeah, so, hey, I didn't know that. I don't know who's the 1 seed, 2 seed, or 3 seed, 4 seed, 5. I don't know any of the seeds. So, I don't know. I think back then, at least I was a little more involved. And I don't know, basketball officially fell off.
I feel, hey, look, Jared, hey, you said, John, you were like, who's the 1 seed? It's Jared. The Luck is the 1 seed. What is it? Does it hit better? Like back then, it was more developing. You were trying to develop these players, and now you're here. Like, which one hits harder?
That's a good question. I enjoyed kind of being an underdog and like knowing, because there was no hate back then, really.
Yeah, man. Nobody cares.
There was nothing to hate. Yeah, but it's definitely more entertaining watching the games now. Like, there's a lot more on the line. There's a lot more expectation. Yeah, I'd say it's harder now.
Oh, we got. Oh, hello.
Look at that, Nick.
Zach, what do you think? Is it better now or better back then? I mean, Zach. I'm tripping. Zach.
No, you're good. You said Zach. Surprisingly, even though this would be the first time in 16 years they made the playoffs, and
crazy.
16 years, it's made me super interested to watch. I'd say back then, just like stats nowadays are so. It's like any random night. It's awesome to watch all this offense, but a role player, the lack of defense being played. I'm more of like any sport, basketball, football. I like watching defense. Like, defense is just so much more fun to watch, and it's like you can't even watch some of the best players do it anymore. So definitely back then.
I feel you, hey, and that's saying something because back then it's not very.
That
good
wasn't even that long ago either.
And it was hell for you. You were a very strong purgatory team. And but the fact that you liked it back then, hey, it's the classic time. You James Harden in the Rockets jersey. Remember John Wall and the Wizards, Isaiah Thomas in Boston. You had LeBron in Cleveland. Simple times. LeBron and Kyrie wasn't on doing all this extra stuff. It was just LeBron and Kyrie. And and I'll tell you one thing. I saw Game 7 of the finals when they won that championship. And I was like, yo, Kyrie, you are such a badass. Like, you as a sidekick, and there's nothing wrong being a sidekick. You just got too much pride. That's one of 7 deadly sins for a reason. You need to chill out on your pride. Kyrie was hitting all these crazy shots. It's like LeBron, he controlled the whole game. Okay, I'm a little tired. Kyrie, go get a bucket. Gotcha. And it was like, yo, that is some great sidekick work right there. That's great to have.
No, but nobody want to be called a sidekick, especially like, when they came back 3-1 in the last game, 41-41. It's like you're not a sidekick. Like, he look at him as an equal.
I mean, here's a better word. Because if I say Robin, they're like, oh my gosh, Robin's back. Well, Robin was freaking the leader of the Teen Titans. He had a whole show that was a lit. So be fine being a Robin. But like, okay, a co-star. We can say co-star, but at the same time, LeBron clearly is the best player and the guy that you generate everything for. Like, he is the leader, the number one guy. Being a I'm not saying sidekick. Being a co-star,
more like the Avengers. Like, you got Captain America and Iron Man, more like that.
But I don't think Kyrie I don't think that close. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think no, Kyrie LeBron a 99 overall, especially that moment. Kyrie like a 92, which is still really good. But LeBron is averaging. He's leading both teams in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. First time and only time ever. Kyrie, you get some buckets on the side. Give me 25, 30 points, and that's cool. And obviously we need you, Kyrie. We need you. So when he wanted to get freaking traded, it pissed me off because I was like, yo, you're the only threat to that stupid dynasty with those light-skinned guys and freaking KD. We need you. I was a Cleveland fan. I'm not going to lie to you. I was a big when the Cavs won the championship, bro, you would confuse me for a Cleveland fan. I watched the whole parade. I wanted to buy a shirt. I was like, bro, because I hated Golden State so much. But then eventually when, Cleveland fell off and Kyrie got traded, I was like, you know what? Let me try, right? Y'all, let me try. And boy, we got close. Boy, we got close, but no, we ain't got a plot. But obviously, LeBron got that good plot that one time. But look, Kyrie, being a Robin, being a sidekick, whatever, that's how Scottie Pippen won 6 championships. Now, I know Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan ain't got the best relationship now. Their relationship is freaking terrible. His freaking son is dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. That's freaking wild. That is terrible. Michael, I can see why you have no friends. But Scottie Pippen did that to himself as well. Because, yeah. But I'm not getting to that. But one thing I do admire about Paul George, and I know some people may not like this, is that Paul George was like, you know I'm not the guy to win a championship as the best player. I'm fine with Kawhi Leonard being the best player and I can be the number 2. I'll try to be the best at that. Like, knowing your role is such a great thing. Because you know how many people did not know they freaking role and it broke the whole freaking team apart? You had a dynasty on your hands, right? And you didn't know your role and it killed everything. Happens a lot, right? There's even a successful version of it when Shaq and Kobe were like, you know, Shaq was the best, but Kobe was really good too. He's like close number 2. But, you know, Shaq is the guy you generate the offense for, but Kobe wanted to be the number 1. Then, you know, they won 3 championships, but they should have won like 7 because no one can stop that. They know they roll, man. But, hey, Lillard, I'm curious, though. You tell me, what is better for a player? To know his role, accept his role, and try to win a championship as his role if he's not the best player? Or to say, let me try myself. I'm tired of being number 2, a sidekick, you know, a Robin, you know, leader of the Teen Titans, right? I'm tired of being that. I want to go my own way. What do y'all think? Because I knowing your role is the best thing for me, but what do y'all think?
Know your role. Win a championship. That's the whole, that's the name of the game. It's the whole point in playing the sport. Win a championship as many as you can.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
And Jared.
Yeah, I mean, that's supposed to be the common goal of everyone in the league. But like you said, pride and ego, just, you want to be the star. You getting paid like a superstar, you want to be a superstar.
Some people, John, I know you're probably going to have a different opinion. Go ahead.
I mean, I think it's just like, you put all that work in, you work super hard. You know, you don't get to the NBA, you don't get to the NFL without being a confident, competent person. So for somebody to call you Robin or a sidekick when you didn't put so much effort and time in being that guy, and you got to think about it, if you make it to the NBA, more than likely in high school and college, you were like the number 1 player. Or not even number 1, but you were like that dude. You weren't like a sidekick or something. So once you make it to the NBA, now they're telling you to assume that position. Is like, that can be challenging, especially when Kyrie sense, because that game 7, they both dropped. Was that the game 7 they both dropped 41?
That was game 5. It was game 5. It was very important, but game 5, yeah.
Okay, and then I watched some of game 7. I watched the end of it.
He had a game winning.
I seen Kyrie hit the big shot. So it's like, to me, that's more than a sidekick. That's like, to me, that's kind of like you're on equal level. Like, if I defer the ball to you, and I think Kyrie got his own shot, right? It wasn't like
I saw God
drive and he dished it out. Kyrie like got his own shot if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
so it's like if I defer the ball to you and the game is on the line and I'm able to defer the ball to you, you're more than a sidekick. I would say a sidekick is like, I don't know, because would you say Chris Paul and James Harden, like, that wasn't a sidekick duo to me. Like, to me, they were on. What you think?
I mean, yeah, well, you can also say co-star. I would say, yeah, Chris Paul to me, because I say sidekick, I say number 2. Yeah, because James Harden's the best player on the team. I know, like, sidekick has a negative connotation to it, like you're lesser than me. And they are lesser than them in terms of being a basketball player, but like you're extremely, like, if you're a second player, you're extremely valuable. Like, I can't, like, if the number 1 guy has to come to you and say, bro, I can't win without you. Batman gotta go to Robin and say, bro, I can't beat the Joker without you, even though you probably can. But I can't beat these villains without you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it takes that, because we need you. You're just not as good as me. Like, Jaylen Brown is the number 2 to Jason Tatum. I know Jaylen Brown might want to leave and go somewhere else and try to be his own guy. But, like, we need you, Jaylen Brown. To get to the finals, we need you. Like, don't leave me.
Yeah.
We need you.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown is really good. But I don't think he could go to another team and lead it the way Tatum can. I did think Kyrie could go to another team.
And he failed miserably.
And I know he failed, but I still felt like he was capable of, like, you know, leading another team, but I guess obviously not. But to answer your question, yeah, I think it's fine. Like, he did, if you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish, which they accomplished by winning the championship, now it's like, I have a bigger purpose, so let me go find something else to do. Let me go see if I can do it on my own. And of course, I mean, if it don't work out, it just don't work out. But they came back from the 3-1 lead, so it's not like he got that under his belt. Now, let's say, for instance, they were close to winning a championship and they lost, and then he decided to leave. That would be totally different. But if you already accomplished your goal and you looking for something else, you want to be the man. Like, you're the man at Duke. So it's like, now it's time to, hey, I think I can be the man somewhere else. You defer the ball to me at the end of the game. Obviously, you think I'm the man as well. So let me go try it. I mean, it didn't work, but, sometimes, well, I don't know if it do for basketball, but same difference.
I mean, like, there is times when, James Harden wanted to stay in Oklahoma City forever and just be the sixth man. But they didn't give him $4 more million. Obviously, just, nerfed their own dynasty that was about to be created and then trade him to Houston. Thank you very much. And got good 8 years out of that. So, but it works sometimes. Was like, I wish though, I wish this so much. Damian Lillard, I wish you were in Kyrie's shoes, man. I wish that you had a LeBron. I feel like Damian Lillard would just be like, that's like, because some people can just appreciate that. Like, if you playing with the greatest player or the second greatest player ever, like, I'm obviously not Michael Jordan. Like, if I'm Damian Lillard, you have to, like, I'm not the best player ever. I'm not in his realm. So it's like, I can do my thing. And usually LeBron gets a lot of the criticism anyways. We lose, he's getting a lot of criticism. Like, they don't say Kyrie is what? Kyrie's what, 2-1 and 1-2 in the finals. They will never tell you that because that doesn't matter. They say LeBron's record because he's, high up in the list. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get to have that either. It doesn't come on your record either. Damian Lillard, he just had like a press conference when he was like, man, I don't want to be a part of rebuild. Like, I don't want to like help. Like, he obviously helps the young guys, but he doesn't want to go through that stage. He's like 32 years old. I was like, Kyrie, he played with freaking LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic now. That's some talent, man. Damian Lillard played with CJ McCollum. The older LaMarcus Aldridge. Like, hey, And it's sad that he don't got the shot. And he sound like he just want to get traded, even though he's not going to say that. Dame, I want you to get traded, man. Out of every star ever, you're the guy I want to get traded because you deserve it. You are the all-time leading Portland Trailblazer scorer, probably the best Trailblazer ever, whatever you want to call it, maybe Clyde Drexler, I don't know. You deserve it. Get traded to a good team, man. You deserve, if anyone deserves to be on a super team, it's you. All those years you kept facing Golden State. See, we had Golden State. I'll tell you, I had Golden State and I had Chris Paul at least, right? James had Chris Paul. CJ McCollum ain't going to do nothing for you. You get swept. You get swept. So, go ahead, John.
He did go off against Denver.
I was about to say, look.
Yeah.
Jared.
Yeah, he did take them to the, he did,
No, but they lost that.
Level,
no, they lost that game, though. Oh, no, you talking about, I got you. CJ McCollum did go off, yeah. But I'm talking, look, that was a great game 7 for CJ McCollum. So, like I said, but Denver, I'll tell you, Jared, you didn't deserve to. You did not deserve to be a 2 seed.
Remember that game?
That should have been my freaking 2. I clearly should have been the 2 seed. Yeah, you did not deserve that.
CJ went off, so I don't know. Just to push back on what you're saying a little bit, but from that, yeah.
CJ, but look, CJ give and he take away. Because they faced Denver again. Damian Lillard sets an NBA record for threes in the postseason. Scores like 12 or 13. And CJ McCollum, Damian gives CJ the ball, and CJ fumbles the ball out of bounds. And they lose the game. So he giveth and he taketh away. So at the same time, against the same team at the same time, it's like, yeah, but damn, type stuff. He just squandered, like, could have been the greatest performance in postseason, besides like Jordan or whatever. So that's the best player you've played with. I don't know who I would trade him to. I don't know if is there a destination? Do y'all know of a destination? Because the Lakers always say the Lakers think to get every superstar. They got no capital for that, so the Lakers they're not into this at all. But like, where could he go? Like, I don't know what team is even available. Can you get traded to the Knicks or get traded to like the Clippers? Like, what team could he go to? Zach, do you know?
I was gonna say I'm not certain how they would make it work cap wise. Obviously, it'd have to be a huge trade, but. My personal opinion, if I'm these two teams, I was thinking either the Heat or the Hawks. I say trade them to the East. And then, they'll get rid of probably like Hero, probably Duncan Robinson will go, and then the Trailblazers can finally do that long-awaited rebuild they've been needing to do for 20 years.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
I don't know how they'd make it work cap-wise, but if I'm those two teams, you got to shoot for Dame because
everybody trying to get to. There's always Miami rumors. Always like, yeah, you trade this guy to Miami.
Yeah,
trade this guy
Miami's always a destination with Eric Spoelstra. So.
But they never get traded. We offered James Harden for Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. They said, no, we don't want that. Okay, well, that obviously aged terribly for you. Jared, Jared, what do you think? If you know of a team.
Man, I don't know. Do you think he would stay in the West? Or do you think he'd go East?
No, leave the West. The West has been hard on you. It's been hard on you.
Yeah,
it's been hard since. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I can't. It's hard to picture him on another team.
It is on.
He's been there for so long. But no, I can't really think of any team.
Hey, Dame, man, Dame has provided that team some great moments. I remember he hit that buzzer beater against me. I was distraught. That was terrible defense and terrible. That coach was awful. Kevin McHale was an awful coach, and that was an awful way to lose that game. And then, John, you might have seen this because I saw it live. I think all of us probably seen this, but when Dame hit the shot against Oklahoma City,
yeah, I watched it.
Yeah,
that was tough to watch.
Oh, why?
Cause I'm a big, well, not now, but I was a big Paul George fan.
Oh, so well, yeah, it was on Paul George. I
really wanted to see them. Yeah, and like he said, that definitely was a bad shot, but he caught him.
But he can shoot it though. It was a bad shot, but he can shoot that shot.
Hey, but he got it. He got his little weak shot. It's all good.
that was funny. It was a tie game, so like if he missed that shot, be like okay, overtime. Or if he made that shot, it's one of the best moments ever. And hey, he made the shot. And Paul George.
And what he said after he made it was that the first person to say I'm him? Did he say that?
Nah. I think the first person I can recall. He waved goodbye. He did this.
I know he waved goodbye, but like when he went to the sideline, he was saying something.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what he said. He might have said it
later.
He might have said I'm him. That was a good postseason though. Saw 2 buzzer beaters, man. I don't know if y'all can recall because the postseason is like 2 weeks from now. So I don't know if y'all can recall the last couple of postseasons, right? Because John, obviously, you cannot recall these postseasons very well, but there are a couple you can recall, or maybe one. But I'm curious. Jared, Zach, like when did y'all start watching postseason basketball? Zach, obviously your team wasn't in there, but when did you start watching other teams be in the postseason? Like, when did you start watching these things? Postseason.
Start watching?
Yeah, like postseason, like consistently watching the round by round the postseason.
2007 was when I first started watching like actual like basketball. Yeah, okay. Like I got into sports kind of late, so football and basketball I started watching in 2007, but heavily the postseason I'd say it was like 2009. Okay. And then like I'm talking about watching every single game heavily. It was like 2014. So.
Oh, the Steph Curry years, the Steph Curry revolution.
Yeah, not too long ago, to be honest.
And Jared,
yes,
around the same time.
That's about when I started. It's like 2015. So Warriors, Cavs. That was a whole
college life, like 4 years. That was a whole college. Just like if you went to college or high school, that's all you watch in the finals the whole time.
Yeah,
that's freaking sad. That's terrible. Yeah, but okay. So I want to do something like a quick rating of like the postseasons. I'm not gonna say back too far. I'm gonna say like let's say when the Steph Curry revolution began, right? Let's say the 2014-15 season when the Steph Curry when I started getting hoed. The NBA Finals of the postseason was Warriors Cavs. That'll be pretty simple. Jared, your team did not make it. Obviously, Zach, your team did not make it. I made it. I lost in 5 to Steph Curry, of course. Lost to Steph Curry. Can y'all if you've watched it, since you two have watched it, John, I don't know if you watched it. I don't think you watched this postseason. But if you have watched this postseason, how would you rate that postseason from 1 to 10? If you can remember. And I'll tell you some key moments in the postseason to help jog your memory. The Clippers blew a 3-1 lead to the Houston Rockets. Chris Paul hit a game winner against San Antonio with that hammy injury. He threw a floater up. The Grizzlies lost to the Warriors. That's when Steph Curry hit like a very like almost full court shot, turned around, threw a full court shot in, and everyone in Memphis was like, this is not real. He can't be doing this. This is witchcraft. And that's when the Hawks randomly won 60 games and got swept by LeBron because they have no plot. And the Cavs were in the finals, lost in 6 because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were not present. So from just even if you and John, you can even rate it from what I just told you. Like from what I just said, you can even rate it like how does it sound? But from 1 to 10, how good of a postseason? I would tell you that's a 6 because freaking Kyrie got hurt, pissed me freaking off. It's like a freaking 6 to me. But what do y'all think? And anyone can be first because all 3 of y'all are muted.
For me it's pretty exciting. Like I didn't have any bias. I was still relatively new to like fully committing to basketball, and obviously the Warriors are an exciting team to watch. So I'd give it like a 7, maybe an 8.
It's not bad, 7, 8. Zach, you watching some postseason basketball? What do you think from 1 to 10?
Are you talking about the
yeah, that postseason? What would you rate that?
Since I started watching it?
Oh no, from that postseason, 14-15. With Steph Curry.
14-15, okay.
When Steph Curry won his first championship.
Yeah, I mean, that really revolutionized basketball, so, I mean, I liked it, definitely. I mean, I don't have anything against Steph Curry and the Warriors. I know a lot of people do, but I personally have no problem with them, so watching them play, I mean, especially the way they, with all the passing they do, they play good defense, like I said, they share the rock, so that's fun to watch to me, so I give it a good rating.
I hated all of it. John, from what I told you.
From a basketball fan standpoint, though, you have to kind of...
Was that the year everybody got hurt in the finals?
Yeah, when Kyrie and Kevin Love were both not playing.
Who was the guy that stepped up for Cleveland?
Matthew Dellavedova.
But I mean, that was kind of exciting a little bit, so I'll probably say like a 6.5.
Yeah, they're up. The Cavs are up 2-1.
Based off the finals, because I do watch every final, so I'll just base it off of that. I can't do the whole postseason until like 2018-ish.
That helps. Okay, I got you. The next one, 15-16, 10 out of 10. Perfect score. Wonderful postseason. I sucked. The Rockets were terrible, and I enjoyed it. Freaking the Thunder blow a 3-1 lead. Golden State blow a 3-1 lead. That's obviously two most important things in this whole entire equation. Those 2 3-1 leads blown. I know that's the two biggest things, obviously. But, boy, the Cavaliers winning that championship, boy, that's such heavyweight, boy. That's just like, oh, that is so great. Where do y'all rank that? To me, that's a perfect score, 1,000%.
I've never been a huge LeBron fan.
Interesting.
Ever. So him winning kind of brought it down a little bit. But I'd still give it an 8. It was still a really good postseason.
You wanted Steph Curry to win, huh? That's because
I did.
I definitely did not. I definitely rooted for LeBron. What about and John? You probably watched this postseason, or not this postseason, the finals, right? So, what do you think?
Honestly, I was going for the Warriors as well. It's because I seen a lot of people talking like, oh, the only reason Steph won was because all the players from Cleveland got hurt. So
and that's true.
So at that point, I don't know. I was like, all right, let's see. I want him to prove himself. He's that guy now. But obviously, Kyrie was like, you gonna call me Robin? I'm gonna show you Robin.
Interesting. Yeah, that's what he thought too. And Steph ain't say nothing to that.
He said, I'm the captain now. So,
that man LeBron was clearly.
LeBron was a Robin.
So
LeBron. That's why he passed him the ball. He's like, hey, bro, I'll be Robin for this time. And just,
for this moment. Yeah, for this moment. Yeah,
for the team. But,
LeBron is clearly better in that whole series. That man did a lot.
But yeah, I definitely was going for the Warriors. So I'll say, I don't know. That was pretty interesting. And then what happened with but I was rooting for the Thunder, and then and my cousin a big Thunder fan, and they were all dancing and stuff. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Warriors won a game where Curry hit a half court shot or something like that. He was dribbling the ball up. Oh, was that not them?
That was the regular season. That was the same year.
Regular season. Oh,
that was the double. That's the double bang. No, but that definitely was because that's when I realized, oh, this guy is, that was a revolutionary moment. That's the biggest shot he's ever made, because that the whole world was like, oh, this guy here, he's taking pull-up shots like that. It's freaking ridiculous. It pissed me off. But the Thunder was giving him the beats in that freaking postseason, and then all of a sudden freaking Plot came up, and then they can't freaking make a shot no more. Plot is such a.
And then I think Westbrook was like, I like when Curry guard me. Was that year?
Yeah, that's not good for Plot. It was
just going great, man. It was just going great, and next thing you know, they just turned up on him.
That's stupid though. I told you, they don't understand Plot. You know, this is the team that's supposed to be the dynasty, and I'm gonna poke the bear, and now I can't make no shot. Now I can't make a shot, and now Klay Thompson hitting all these 3. It's freaking. Hey, Plot's beautiful, man. I tell you, I call it every time.
Then Klay backdoor, because that was, I don't know if that was the year that Draymond, what he had called? He called LeBron something.
He called him a bitch.
LeBron got mad, and then Klay was like, I guess he got his feelings hurt.
And then LeBron got pissed, and LeBron did that smile, that laugh, and then their Plot went the other way. Now LeBron destroy you. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand Plot. You don't poke the bear because you don't know who got the plot. So make sure to keep quiet and see and let the script progress. But see, they must have.
Yeah, I'll get at a 10 then.
That's beautiful. It's funny.
Exciting.
It's exciting and funny because that's hilarious how freaking Klay Thompson pissed off LeBron like that. He's like, he did a little laugh like that. That was good. That's good. And then they got Katie, and then they got ruined. Zach, what do you think? What do you think about that postseason?
I would rank that like double what I ranked the previous season, just because coming back down that much in the finals weren't teams, I think 0-71 or something like that.
Yeah, didn't win, never won.
Yeah, never won. I mean, that's history. Like, I mean, you can't even debate that. Like, so that right there, and plus LeBron, he's one of my favorite players. So
the opposite of Jared.
Yeah. Which is also weird on why I say I don't mind watching the Warriors win, but
I'll tell you, hey, when we talk about LeBron being the GOAT, the reason why we talk about LeBron being the GOAT is literally because of his Cleveland run. And literally that championship. Like when he was in Miami, we didn't call him the GOAT. That Cleveland, 4 years at Cleveland is what got him that. Because all those finals performances and that very important win. That is the most important championship of all time. Period. Number one championship ever is that one. That's going to help your case a lot. So congratulations. And if you go back to my Instagram back then, I immediately said LeBron is the second greatest player of all time. Because I didn't care about no Kobe, rest in peace. I didn't care about no Shaq, no one else. I don't care about Magic Johnson. When he did that, that's good plot. That's the main character right there, baby. But unfortunately, Steph Curry is also a main character, which moves me to the next year. They add KD, and that whole plot thing goes away. That postseason is a freaking 1. That postseason was freaking awful. How you go from a 10 to a 1? Not only did I make the postseason, and James Harden's whole legacy of terrible postseason play comes to this one stupid game. That stupid Game 6 against San Antonio when he literally decided not to play basketball that day. I don't know what happened. Because the crazy thing is I don't know what, because you can say, well, he choked, but it's like, why didn't you not shoot more? You definitely could have shot 25 or 30 times and just shoot 2 of 30. And I'll be like, okay, that's terrible. But he shot 10 times. What's going on? Why are you not shooting? Or is this rigged? What are you doing? What type of plot is this? He had 10 points and he shot 10 times. I hated that. You also factor in the freaking Golden State was running through all the NBA. And then when they faced Cleveland, I was thinking, okay, Cleveland. Cleveland also ran through the NBA. I think Cleveland swept everybody on their way to the finals too. So I was like, okay. Let's see. I think it's going to be a good matchup. Maybe a 6-7 game series. Katie said, F what you talking about. I looked at that whole series. I was like, yo, literally the difference is KD's destroying them. I know if KD won there, I think Cleveland Golden State would be a hard 7-game series. Bro, KD is averaging 35 on 60% shooting. It's freaking stupid. And you got Steph Curry over there. That postseason was so awful. I watched hockey. I said, I'm going to watch freaking hockey now. It was so freaking terrible. What do y'all think?
So I think this kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier when you were asking, do you stay and be a Robin or do you go and make your own destiny? And, not every championship is created equal. Like you just said, KD went and made his own destiny in a sense.
And no one respects it. No one respects it.
So I think it depends. Not every championship is created equal. So, yeah, I'm with you. I remember I was working and this guy told me, he was like, KD just went to the Warriors. And I'm like, quit playing. He's like, I'm serious. I was like, quit playing. And he showed me the phone. I'm like, nah, that's fake. That can't be real. So, yeah, that's a 2 or something.
That's so. One of my friends, before y'all say something, one of my friends said, because he a KD fan, he talking about KD's championships weigh just as much as LeBron's. I said, boy, that's cap. Freaking LeBron's freaking championship falls to the freaking ground when you put a weight on it. KD's championship flies up. There is no weight on it. No one respects that. He don't even respect the freaking championships. Don't freaking talk to me about that. Jared, Zach, what do y'all think, man? What do you think about that awful postseason?
I give it a 6.
How you give it a 6?
It's still entertaining to watch.
Who was entertaining? Freaking Kawhi Leonard hurt his ankle and they got sweat. What was entertaining about anything?
Oh, I forgot
LeBron
about
losing was entertaining.
That happened too. It was terrible. Postseason was awful.
Yeah, and then it looked like it was intentional, so that's what made it worse. And they
dirty
were up
play.
by they were up by a lot. He's like, you know what? If you can't beat them,
hurt them.
That's crazy. So
I said they knew. And they didn't win another game. I thought Kawhi would come back the next game or 2 games. Didn't win again. I said, this is trash. I hate all this. But go ahead.
That was kind of his downfall. Like,
oh, yeah, that's the last time he played well for San Antonio. Ruined San Antonio, too. Golden State, boy. They ruined a lot of teams.
Was that the year when Draymond basically clawed LeBron's eye out when he got his hand stuck in LeBron's eye?
Oh, you made it. I remember he hit James Harden in the eye. I remember that. But
that was just such a dirty series. Like, the whole playoffs was just so dirty.
John, what you about to say? You went off mute.
No, I was gonna say I remember that because I remember LeBron eye being super red.
It was nasty.
It's kind of like how Deshaun Watson eye was.
Oh yeah, he did get poked in the eye.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I remember that.
I say, that literally, that postseason was so bad. That's when my GM said, okay, we gotta do something about this because there's no way we could just let this slide. Like, you can't. They won 16-1. I hated all of it too. The Cavaliers won that one game because they just got hot for that one day in Game 4. But we know, like, they're not winning. And then people saying KD better than LeBron. I said, no, he's not. KD has the best spacing of all time. Like, of course like, Kyrie's cool, but he's not better than Steph Curry. And Kevin Love never show up in these finals. And Klay Thompson do. And they got Draymond Green as well. Nah, it's okay. Let's go to a better time. This is more biased for me because the 2017-18 postseason was really good till it wasn't. But I was doing my thing until I lost in Game 7. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't even think because the West, the East was interesting because LeBron was like carrying, like put his backpack on and had literally the best performances of all time in postseason. And then freaking J.R. Smith squandered what could have been the best game of his career by not knowing the score. And like I said, that's how you know there's plot. Because I tell y'all, man. One game, Game 7, the Rockets missed 27 threes, and then the next game and they lose, right? Golden State goes to the next game. The next game, LeBron drops 51, 49 in regulation, and you're telling me there's an NBA player who just does not know the score at the end of a game in the NBA Finals? Not only that, but they're at the free throw line, so the game is paused. So you have time to, like, know what's happening, and he did not know the score. That's plot. That's clearly, it's rigged. It's clearly plot. Like, that happens to no one besides you. Congratulations. I'm going to give that a 7 because I was cool until I wasn't. But y'all are not as biased as me. So y'all can obviously give it a higher or lower score if you choose. But there ain't much to talk besides the LeBron run and then me blowing my lead.
Yeah, I'm super biased too. That's the year Chris Paul got hurt.
Yeah.
Was that? That year was going so great. When I saw him shimmying, I was like, man, this really our year.
No, I saw plot.
I mean, as a Cowboy fan, I say that a lot, but at that point, I was like, we're gonna beat LeBron. I was like, come on, man, that felt too amazing. And then he got hurt. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll put my trust in Harden. He's MVP and all of that. So and I don't care what anybody say about the 27 missed threes. I didn't see that happening. The only person I seen missing threes was Trevor Ariza. Like,
and he was missing all of them, boy.
Yeah.
All of them.
He was the only person. But I didn't realize our team had missed 27 straight. Because even if they missed 27 straight, the score was still kind of like close, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, I had to go to sleep right after that game. Then a couple nights later, or however long later, I'm watching. Obviously, I'm rooting for LeBron. I didn't like the words at that moment
at all.
And LeBron had this historical game, and that was the first time I watched and like, man, somebody took over the game. Like, somebody is super important, like vital to this team. And I look around LeBron's team, and that was like the first time I ever thought that he pretty much, like, if he wasn't scoring, he had assists, like everything. So I was like, man, this is great. This is a great game. And next thing I know, the guy missed the free throw, and JR, like, when he grabbed the ball, I looked around. I'm like, what is he doing? And obviously he was doing something he wasn't supposed to. And then you see LeBron over there like, bro, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Meme forever.
You saw Draymond clapping his hand like, you fucked up, right? So that whole moment was just crazy. And then obviously everybody knew if they went into overtime, that game was going to be over. So.
LeBron then broke his hand.
The whole series was over.
He broke his hand too because he was pissed, which also hurt the fact that now you really can't win because the only best player on your team broke his hand.
Wait, when did he do that?
He got pissed. Locker room. He hit like a board or something, and he broke like one of the bones in his hand. So I was like, the plot.
You weren't gonna win any more games, so I was like, he gave everything he had. I don't think they was gonna win anymore after that. But I definitely thought they would win that game. And on top of that, the Warriors, like, the refs were cheating for the Warriors. So I was really rooting for LeBron. Or even if they weren't cheating, they were like super biased. Like, I was like, if you have a team that's like obviously head and shoulders better, you should be cheating for the opposite team. Like, you should have been cheating for the Cavs to make it competitive. Why are you
at home cooking?
So
at home cooking. You know what sucked though? I'm gonna tell you something about that, John. How come they get home cooking? I didn't get no home cooking. How come my game 7, Scott Foster rigging the game against me? What the heck is that? That's why you get a game 7 to get home cooking. Where are my calls at? There ain't no way. That's so stupid. That's so stupid.
I'm just saying, like, if you you gotta come down like the NBA. You have to tell the refs, like, all right, we want favorable calls for Cleveland. Obviously, they're not gonna win, but at least make it entertaining. At least make the fans have some type of hope. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are the Warriors getting every call or even favorable calls? So, I think that was the same year KD had stepped out of bounds against the Rockets.
Oh no, that was the next year.
That was the next year. All right, cool, gotcha.
Yeah, still holding me though. But we still won because James said F the plot. I'm gonna break the plot.
That was one of the greatest. Besides the LeBron game, I say that's probably the second greatest game I ever seen by a player.
Good comeback too.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. Jared, what do you think, man? You were close. You were the nicest. You were close to make the postseason. You lost to Minnesota.
Yeah, no, we're still not in it. Gotta wait till next year. I think at this point, everything with the Warriors was starting to get boring to me.
Yeah, it got bored to me immediately.
Repetitive. Yeah, so I wasn't following too closely. It's just, you kind of knew what was going to happen. You kind of saw how it was going. And
let me ask you, who are you rooting for? Rockets versus Warriors. Who are you rooting for? You didn't know me at this time, so who are you rooting for?
I know you be hating on the Cowboys, so that's a good question.
The Rockets.
You root for the Rockets?
Yeah, I have a lot of family that are Rockets fans. Okay. Yeah,
I had to make sure. I was gonna judge. I was gonna like judge your whole character off that. But, I'm Zach. Who are you rooting for? Rockets or Warriors?
In this particular one, it was the Rockets. Even though I was not very much a fan of, well, I've never been a fan of Chris Paul because of his flopping. Like, man, just to me, even like, okay, this season he hasn't done it a lot, but last night he did against the Kings. But you gotta expect at least one or two. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of him. But at the same time, I'd rather watch the Rockets win it all than the Warriors. So.
Yeah, they already got 2. Let me face LeBron. I think we would have beaten LeBron in 6 though. I know LeBron would have taken. If he did that to us.
It would have been tough. Yeah, it would have been tough though.
And oh yeah, that's right. You're from California, right?
Yes, sir.
What part?
So I was born in Los Angeles. So I mean, really, I think technically, if we're going geographically, I should be like a Clippers fan, but I used to watch a lot of highlights. Huh?
How are you guys towards other teams? Like as a Rockets fan, I don't care too much about the Mavs, or like, I don't hate on them. Like, if they win something, it's not a big deal to me. So is it like that for you guys as well? Like, are you hating on the Warriors, or it don't matter if they win? Oh, okay, yeah.
I really don't.
Basketball's not really like that.
I really don't even hate the Lakers.
Yeah. No way, I'm rooting for the Texans.
Zach, y'all have a rival, right?
Yeah. I guess it technically would be the Lakers, even though in our rivalry it's like the Lakers have won like way over majority of the games. But
they did hold you. They did hold you crazy in that one.
Yeah, it would be the Lakers. So.
Oh well.
The Suns too.
Oh yeah, that should be a rival. You hate Chris Paul.
Yeah, Suns is a big one too, especially this season. So I think we're 3-1 against them.
Well, Zach, I'll tell you one thing too. When you do get to this postseason, I hope you will build a rivalry, because usually that's how you build your rivalries, is when you're in heated competition and something bad happens to you, and then you get very resentful.
Like the Mavericks and Phoenix from last postseason. They hate each other now. They hate each other.
Resentful. You see what I'm saying? Devin Booker is resentful.
Luka and Booker, man, those two.
Resentful. It's beautiful. Love it. Or Grizzlies, Warriors, they're resentful. Why? Postseason play. That's how it is. That's how it works. Why do I hate the Warriors? They beat us in the postseason. And Steph Curry took my MVP.
Crap talking self.
It's beautiful. Build it up. I'm here for it. Kings, get ready. Get you a rival. It's fun to have. I told you, it's fuel. It fuels your existence. right? In every sport, get you a rival. Few of you exist. I hate the Yankees. I hate the Warriors because the Warriors ruined me for years. And it's just ridiculous. And Texans, I'm kind of chill. We suck. There's nothing really to hate right now. There's nothing really to hate. I'll hate when I get good again. I was supposed to hate the Chiefs, but I just give that to Jared. I'll let Jared hate the Chiefs because he has to go through
Patrick Mahomes is just otherworldly right now.
And yeah, Jared, I told you you're going to deal with that for many years.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, Nuggets. We're on the Nuggets, right?
Yeah, Broncos turned it on, though. Broncos had a good offseason.
They had a good offseason, but you know who the main character is.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, you know who the main character is.
I'm just happy it wasn't the Eagles. I'm happy. I cannot stand the Eagles, man. Philadelphia,
look, 49ers fan and Cowboys fan getting together. That's fun, man. Yeah, both hate the Eagles.
They whooped our butt in the NFC game, and all they did was talk the entire time. I'm just like, if we didn't have Josh Johnson at quarterback, we probably would have had a better chance. The dude can barely throw a regular ball. You put someone's dad in the game, and he probably would have completed more passes.
Hey, look, yeah, John would say, it was a Mickey Mouse road to the Super Bowl. Had a great shot to win a Super Bowl, but hey, look, y'all, both of y'all are very happy. Jared is not. The main character wins in the end. Patrick Mahomes would win the Super Bowl. I can't wait to get back to football too, for sure, because that's some good main character stuff. There is still a main character in the NBA, of course. 18-19, John, you're very relevant. You know what's happening here. This postseason was really fun. I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm giving it a 10 because Kawhi Leonard buzzer beater, Damian Lillard buzzer beater. The freaking Warriors lost. That's so great. I love it too. Kawhi Leonard beat the freaking Warriors. Toronto Raptors was a great team for me. The Bucks, Kawhi and that Wall messed with the Bucks, and Drake was amazing on the sideline doing all types of antics. Those antics were hilarious. Great memes in those antics. It was entertainment at its finest. And Jared, you entered the postseason. You had 2 Game 7s in that postseason. 2 Game 7s. The Spurs took you hard, but the Spurs were almost there, boy. You know what I'm saying? I told you the postseason get hard. Look, Zach, I told Jared, these postseason play get hard. And it was hard as hell for Jared. 2 Game 7s, and the second Game 7, CJ McCollum pulled it out. I think y'all missed like 16, 17 straight threes. Y'all were trying to be like us, but y'all can't be like us. And y'all lost the game. That's entertaining. And then we obviously lost. Kevin Durant got hurt, but then Steph Curry said F that and beat us anyways. I say that's a 10. Even though it was a terrible loss for me, I say that's a 10. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I'll give it a 10 as well. I had just bought a 55-inch TV, so I literally watched every game. I probably don't remember that much. Is that the year the Clippers, did they face the Warriors that year?
They came back down 30, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the first year that somebody said I'm him. Because I remember he's like, I'm KD, you know who I am.
Oh, yeah, you know I am. And
so even that game was pretty entertaining. Even though it should have been like, even I think Pat Beverly, he was like, it's KD, they're a better team, et cetera, what you want us to do. Or the reporters were asking Lou Williams, like, what was the game plan to like stop him? And he was like, you tell us. So that game was entertaining. Then I remember the Magic. I don't know who they played, but I just remember all the games entertaining. And then I'm watching.
We went to a game. We went to a game too.
Oh.
Rockets Jazz.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Jazz. That probably was the most boring.
I know, but we went to, and I was happy. I didn't want to see no close game. I did not want no close game to hurt my heart. I said, blow them out. That's what we need. Blow them out. Beat them in 5. And let's move on to the next round. Face this freaking ridiculous team. I need to get as much rest as possible.
Well, I guess, but that's not entertaining to me. Like, because that's the games where you get up and leave. Obviously, we weren't going to get up and leave because too much we can't afford those tickets to. Yeah. But that was probably my least favorite series out of all of them.
You know what we would have done too? Petty stuff. If the Clippers won Game 6, we would have the Rockets team would have went to Game 7 and sat courtside and watched Clippers versus Warriors. I would have loved that level of power. Like, let's get it. Beef, pettiness. Because look, the Warriors were overlooking the Clippers after Game 3. The Klay Thompson was like, yeah, Houston just won 3-0. We're gonna they were. He was in the press conference when they talking to reporter. He talking about the Rockets. Like, so we know like the beef's here. Like, we gonna face each other. But if they F around lose to the Clippers, I'm gonna be a courtside and watch your downfall. But of course, Kevin Durant was not gonna let that happen. Drop 50. We couldn't go to Game 7, and we had to play Game 1 in Golden State. So, and that's when they started poking James Harden in the eye and landing in the shooting space. I guess that was their get back. That was unfortunate. I think Scott Foster ref that too, because of course he did. Jared.
Yeah, and I watched the Kawhi shot. I watched it live, so when I was like, who was our? I was rooting for. I was actually rooting for because I like Jimmy Butler, and he's not from Houston. He's from Tomball, so don't say from Houston. I'll give that one a 10 as well. Very entertaining.
Very entertaining. Most entertaining I've seen, man.
Yeah. I guess never mind, because the finals, people did get hurt.
I don't care about that.
So,
okay.
I'll give it an 8, 8.5.
I mean,
it wasn't a complete like the year when the Cavs came back 3-1. There's no asterisk. There's nothing to say. Every team was fully healthy. Although I do believe, and then KD he ruptured his Achilles and all of that year, so it wasn't even though I wanted Toronto to win, and I think Kawhi Leonard had one of those that postseason, he went crazy, one of the greatest postseasons I ever seen by a player, because I watched the entire thing this time, so I can't take that away from him, but at the same time, you didn't go against a fully healthy Warriors, so I'll give him an 8.5.
The Warriors don't go against anyone fully healthy. F the Warriors. Jared, what is that? What is that from? What it's?
Man, I'd probably give it around a 9. I honestly didn't watch the East too closely in the playoffs, but just from the West, the back-to-back Game 7s from the Nuggets, man, it was intense and stressful, but I loved it.
I don't love my game. My Game 7s are stressful as hell. Oh my gosh, I can't take a Game 7. But Zach, you about to enter a Game 7? You get to a Game 7, which is very possible. Oh man, I can't sleep. Boy, I'm like, oh please, oh my gosh, I need to win this stupid game. Zach, what do you think? But what do you think about that specific postseason, the 18-19 postseason with the Toronto Raptors winning the championship?
I think that was. To me, that was one of my honest favorite ones to watch. I remember that one. I was pretty heavily involved in watching it just because Kawhi wasn't by himself with it all, but he was the leader of that team, and he was there to show what he was capable of without Pop, without just the great Spurs players that he was around. So watching him really prove that in that 1 year he's in Toronto and he brings them their first ever championship, and especially coming from a guy that watches a team that hasn't won a championship since World War II, it's awesome to watch, man. So that was my favorite series, especially with the game winner in the semifinals against the 76ers, and it's the 76ers from Philly, who I don't like. Man, I'm telling you, that's why it's 10 out of 10 for me.
I feel you, man. Hey, that's good.
That was the year Embiid was crying and all of that.
Yes, he was crying.
That
was
very
crying. Embiid's face, or was it Ben Simmons?
No, Ben Simmons didn't cry. Ben Simmons didn't cry. Joel
No,
Embiid
I meant the Kawhi shot. Was that over Ben? That was over Embiid.
No,
that was over Embiid.
It was over. He got all of it.
Yeah, because he switched off of him, and Embiid tried to block him.
It said doink, doink.
Yeah, and his little
he had enough time.
He was mid fall. He was falling over, and everybody was just watching the ball, and it just rolled in, and oh my god, yeah, that was awesome.
Hey yo, yeah, I watched it live. I was like, for some reason, I was like, I think something's gonna happen. I don't know why. I just I'm gonna put on my LeBron hat because cap star. But I'm like, for some reason, I think he gonna make this. I don't know, because it's a tie. When it's a tie game, I just feel like you have less pressure. You could be a little more fluid with it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, he gonna miss. It was like doink. I was like, wait, doink. Oh, and it fell in, and then everyone was like, that's 10 out of 10.
I don't know, man. Kawhi Leonard on a mid range. He's basically money.
I'll tell you this: the Raptors, y'all should retire his jersey. That's only retire. Cause I said, bro, that's the best thing you ever had. You never had something like that. I don't think you ever had that. Is your guy. That's the best player to ever play for you. Period. For 1 year, I was working when I was in doing door to door. I was working with a bunch of Canadians. And they were all Toronto Raptors fans, so we watched the Game 6 end of it, and it was like, oh my gosh, they finally saw Plot for the first time. I said, oh my gosh, I can't believe we won. And I said, but Kawhi's leaving though. He's going to LA. I said, why would he leave? Why would he leave? The whole country loves him. Why would he leave? Because you don't have that much plot. How much plot do you think you have? You think you'll have it forever? No, he's going to LA. I'm sorry. 1920. This is my last postseason, and it was stressful as hell. In the bubble. In that beautiful bubble. Now, Jared, You should say 10 out of 10 for you. Because, wow, what a postseason, huh?
Jamal Murray.
What a postseason for you. Me? No. I give it a 6.5. That game 7 was freaking terrible. That game 7, we won. James played so bad throwing that game 7. And I was like, oh, please. And then Lou Dort was hitting all his threes. And I was like, Lou Dort never shoots. Why is he hitting threes now, game 7? What plot is this? I hate this happening right now. And I know Lou Dort he got a shot. Remember he got that shot and James Harden blocked it. I was like, but James Harden did not block that shot. Lou Dort made that shot. Do you know how much I have to leave Houston? If Lou Dort is a game winner over you and he has 33 and you have 16, do you understand how terrible that is? Oh my gosh. I think he blocked it, then he jumped because Lou tried to throw it off of him and he jumped up and it went out of bounds. I said, I can't take game 7s, bro. Game 7s are freaking I had too stressful. I can't take games. We faced the Lakers. We won game 1. Russell got very cocky. He's like, yeah, I can shoot. He hit a 3, got very happy. Turns out he can't shoot anymore after that. He missed every 3 he took after that, and we lost in 5 games accordingly. That's terrible. But the Nuggets, he came back down 3-1 twice. I wanted the Clippers to win because I want to see Clippers versus LA. You did blow that for me. That's tough. But, that did ruin. Paul George hit the side of the backboard in that game 7. That's terrible. Kawhi Leonard shot terrible too. That whole bubble experience was so stupid. The finals was kind of bad because Miami was heavily injured. LeBron. And I'll tell you one thing, LeBron, that's the only time LeBron's been in the postseason. And there was a team in the finals, and it was a team that was actually worse than his. And he can say he should beat this team easily. Like, that usually never happens. Maybe with the Mavericks, but and obviously that didn't work out for him. But against Miami, I was like, oh, he going to beat Miami because usually he's facing Golden State, San Antonio, all these all-time great teams. What do y'all think? If you watched it, Jared, if you want to go first, you could say because you should throw a little party with that conference finals worth. But what do y'all think?
Yeah, I give it a 10.
They're biased.
We did lose in the conference finals, but it's 100% biased.
For sure.
It's one of the few times I felt like the Nuggets were real, and like they had a real chance.
But
in all my time watching basketball, that was it.
And I'll tell you one thing. The Mickey Mouse bubble. We got the Mickey Mouse ring for LeBron. People might say Jokic had a Mickey Mouse conference finals run. Say, look, you gotta get off that Mickey Mouse. We don't want that Mickey Mouse stuff, right? So, but what do y'all, John or Zach? What do y'all think about if y'all watched the bubble?
Yeah, I watched some of it. I don't know. Overall, I'll probably just give it like a 7. I mean, a lot of the games were entertaining because you got to see the young superstars step up. Like Murray, I think, what's his name from the Jazz?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, he had a couple good games, and so I mean, it was cool to watch. And obviously we got that Harden block. He usually does it with scoring, but he had that block.
He needed that.
That was a pretty good block. Because he was getting clamped. I ain't gonna lie, he was getting clamped.
He was. So. Lou Dort would have made that 3. He would have made that. I know he would have made that 3. I know my plot. He would have made that 3. The shot heard around the world. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. LeBron getting him another ring. Me, personally, I don't think it's a such thing as a Mickey Mouse. Because in order for it to be Mickey, you have to have an advantage over everybody else. I didn't see them having an advantage. Everybody, it was even for everybody. Nobody. So I don't where's the Mickey in that? If you have the same opportunity as me, how can that be Mickey? Now, if I say the Eagles are Mickey, it's because they lost the starting QB, and then they lost another QB, and then you're down to your running back. That's why that's Mickey. But that's where it originated from, though. It originated from the Mickey Mouse. That's the whole Mickey phrase came from that Mickey Mouse clubhouse ring. That's the whole.
I understand what people I understand where it come from, but I don't. Okay, well, tell me why it's Mickey.
Well, the reason why people call it Mickey is because when you get rid of the postseason factor of travel and you get rid of the postseason factor of crowd, then there's a better chance that more random players, because it's like shooting in the gym. So there's a better chance that more random players, because obviously if someone is in the, sitting there, if it's very loud, if it's very loud and you're on the road in the postseason, like Golden State's advantage, it's really hard to win. So that's why Milwaukee can most likely lose in the second round, or Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson go off more likely, or TJ Warren can drop 50 and you never heard TJ Warren, because there's more variance because there's no travel. There's you're not tired. I got to play another game. Now you're just sitting in a freaking hotel And freaking, what my man, was it Daniel House? My man got kicked out the bubble because he freaking having sex with freaking maid. Oh, God. Hey, that was a good time, too. Yeah, boy, that was a good time. But
so
you can.
From what you're saying, it sounds like it's more difficult because you have to account for everybody being able to go off. Like you just said, typically you know who's going to go off and you can game plan for that. But now you're saying anybody's liable to go off. So how does that make it easier? That sounds more difficult to me.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is another thing. If you look at the competition, LeBron definitely in his competition. Besides, hopefully, I would have hoped the freaking Clippers, but freaking the Nuggets. But the Clippers tried to make an excuse. We didn't want to be here. We didn't even want to be here. So the Clippers made a lot of excuses. But if the Lakers faced Portland, he beat Damian Lillard. Faced us, Russell Westbrook can't make no threes. Freaking Denver, you're not supposed to be. It's like Golden State when they beat Dallas last year. It's like, you're really supposed to face Phoenix, but you're facing Dallas because they freaking choked. Type beat. And then Miami was heavily injured. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to go against LeBron. I want you to have those 4 rings. When he faced Miami, I was like, Jimmy Butler, I don't want Jimmy Butler to win no championship. That doesn't hit the same. Let's give it to LeBron. Let LeBron win a championship. But the Mickey is for sure going to be remembered forever. And
are you saying the bubble was Mickey? Or are you saying his competition?
I say both. I still say I
don't know. I mean, I don't see how. Like, from what you're saying, it sounds more difficult to me because you just said that anybody, TJ.
But it hurts because it hurt them that happening when more people being able to do different things. What that happened is that it eliminated his competition, such as it eliminated the Clippers and the Bucks, the 2 teams he was supposed to play, but he didn't play because randoms completely choked or randoms completely went off and messed up the Bucks and the Clippers.
Yeah, but he still had to face those randoms too. Like,
no, but we got no randoms. We lost our randoms. We lost our guy. And then the Portland Trailblazers ain't got no freaking. The Portland Trailblazers got Damian Lillard. There's no randoms. We don't have the ability to give that. We ain't got no plot for that.
Were the Clippers healthy?
Yeah, they were healthy. They just choked.
So, I mean, that's not on him. That's on them.
I know. That's unfortunate, though.
That's not. I don't see how that's like. Because the same thing could have happened to the Lakers. They just prevailed. No. That's what you're supposed to do.
No, but
they could have went against teams where random people, like you said, Russell hit the big 3.
But that's he can't look. I can expect Jamal Murray.
But you make adjustments. Oh, go ahead.
But I can expect Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, right?
Right.
They're better. I'll say, Jared, your Nuggets team was better than my Rockets team at this point. We transferred it to you.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, of course you agree. Unfortunately, though, right? Like, we faced the Lakers. We won game 1. We lost every other game because Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard. Boy, couldn't do nothing with that. But when you're facing the Clippers, right? The Clippers blowing that 3-1 lead, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic going off, and then Kawhi Leonard. I know if it was in a regular playoff setting, I believe the Clippers are finishing that series. If it's in LA and not with a bunch of people looking at you through a freaking screen like what we're doing right now and doing fake cheer noises, all that, I believe that the Clippers are winning the game 6 of that at least. They had 10-point leads in the last 3 games. They were leading. Some fan noise and some trash talking from the fans, and that energy could have pushed them over, but they choked every time because all they can. Well, obviously because they can't hit no shots, but all they hearing is freaking fake crowd noise. Paul George for 3, and okay, let's generate the noise. Okay, put the computer on, generate those cheers. That's what they're doing. That's not organic. You know what I'm saying? And the Bucks also lost in 5 to the Heat. The next year, the Bucks faced the Heat in a regular playoff setting. They freaking swept the Heat. Like, get the F out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's the change. It's like when you're in a bubble versus in real life, it's like.
But also the next year, the Clippers, they still haven't
done
anything.
They made the conference finals. They made the conference finals the next year when they went out of that stupid bubble. They made the conference finals. Took the Suns to 6. They got out the bubble, and they did better than in that stupid bubble. But I'm not going to say nothing about LeBron. LeBron, congratulations for winning that championship. I like talking about LeMickey, though. It's funny. I'm going to call you LeMickey, but you're still one of the greatest players of all time. That's obviously your least valued ring, but it's still valuable because he got one for the Lakers. They would have pissed off, and they would have said, you're not Kobe if you didn't win that championship. So, good job.
I guess we'll have to agree to disagree. I still don't see how that's Mickey. Only way it's Mickey is if you have if you have an advantage over everyone else. Like, everybody had the same competition. Everybody had the same circumstance. No, I mean, you can say you didn't have home court, but nobody had home court. So it's not like the players that are.
I will tell you this. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'll tell you this, though. The Lakers' first 2 series and the Clippers' first 2 series is drastically different. The Clippers had to face Luka Doncic, and Luka Doncic is a MFer in these postseason plays. And then they had to face the Nuggets, who just obviously had Nikola Jokic, who's also, and Jamal Murray. And then, the Lakers had to face Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum's good, but he wasn't doing nothing that serious. And the Rockets are good, but then Russell Westbrook just did not know that. Stop shooting 3-pointers. Like, you're open, they're leaving you open, like, drive. He said, no, shut up, and keep shooting threes. Freaking terrible. Russell. It's like,
but did they face the same team that beat the Clippers?
What are you talking about?
The Lakers.
Ooh. Yeah,
they face the team. Okay, so you acting like
yes, they beat. Yeah, but like the Nuggets plot obviously not gonna run that. Like your plot runs out after a while, and Nikola Jokic couldn't do nothing against Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. So it's different like matchups for that. Hopefully, hey Jared, you face the Lakers.
A better matchup
for that series. But the Clippers had a good matchup up 3-1. They just freaking choked it away. It's okay. We'll agree to disagree. Zach, what do you think? Zach, what do you think about that? If you watch that.
I agree with John, to be honest. In that instance, I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, I know y'all basically are disagreeing. But, I mean, it's also funny because if I remember correctly, I believe in the finals, Anthony Davis he wasn't 100% healthy. I think he tweaked his ankle, as always.
I think he did. I mean, I think he played the games, but I think...
Yeah. I mean, he tweaked it to where, like, he could play through it, but, a player not playing 100%, that still will affect the outcome, and he's still arguably it was LeBron won MVP, right?
Yeah, he won MVP.
Yeah, because plot, yeah, you know. But arguably AD could have won, I think he actually had statistically he was better. But LeBron is the golden boy. Technically Tyler Hero was the golden boy that year. But
he's going off in the bubble.
Yeah, I like that one. Obviously, no one likes COVID, but the bubble was fun to watch just because it was something different. Definitely not. I wouldn't rate it better than the last 2 years, or the last year. I'm sorry, but I liked it watching the Heat and the Lakers go at it. Even though the Lakers were a little bit more. I'm trying to think of how to word this. The Heat were really just outmatched, honestly, when it came to.
They got injured too. So
it wasn't the most competitive, but at the same time, watching LeBron win with the Lakers, I mean, that's pretty dope.
But Danny Green helped. He was missing a lot of shots. He helped extend that series. And when Jimmy Butler had that meme where he's like exhausted because he played like 47, 48 minutes, that was good for.
Yeah, and then you have all these random dudes go off. Like I think Mike Conley was averaging almost 20 points a game. Like when was the last time Mike Conley did something like that?
He can't do that unless he's in a bubble.
Exactly. Donovan Mitchell almost averaged like 40. I think he was at like 36. Like that's insane. So I mean, and Donovan Mitchell not a random. Trust me. Yeah, he's definitely not a random. But that was definitely like a look into what he's becoming as a player. So that was definitely fun to watch as like when you're watching the newer players in the league and seeing kind of like what the NBA will look like after LeBron's hangs up his shoes and all that.
Yeah. Well. Hey, Jared, I would say LeBron, maybe that might be a reason you hate LeBron too, because he did beat you and win the championship. So, and if he beats you this year, then you have all the reason to hate LeBron, because he ruins Jokic's legacy for good. Was it 2021? That's the Bucks, kind of a Mickey Mouse road. Definitely the Nets should have won that championship. But none of those three players have a lot of plot. They have plot, but not by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like KD got to act. KD and Curry got to join the main character to get their plot. But when they together, they not. They're not main characters, right? KD joined Curry. Curry didn't join LeBron, but LeBron joined Curry, right? But by themselves, they got no plot. So and James Harden, doesn't have any plot, right? So James Harden and Curry got hurt. KD was going off. Like KD was on some historic greatness, but his foot was on the line. His toenail was on the line, and did not advance. He did not advance, and that is the most significant thing. I know the Hawks were on some ridiculous random run. Ben Simmons lost all of his confidence to play basketball in that postseason, and he's never recovered since. And what else happened in that postseason? I think the Jazz randomly the 1 seed, but quite Leonard tore his ACL. Paul George played really well, got off that playoff P stuff, and took his team to their first ever conference finals. I'm proud of you, Paul George. But the Suns and Bucks played, and Giannis, he showed me he has some main character potential, and that's good, And Giannis is probably the most improved player in NBA history, because if you look at him his rookie year and look at him now, drastically different. But I give that a 7.5. Nothing crazy really happened. Giannis with the 50-point game, hit all of his free throws randomly. It was pretty interesting. But, KD and the Nets definitely should have won that whole thing. It should have been Nets versus Clippers definitely in that finals. It's just they didn't have no plot. Neither of those teams have plot. But what do y'all think?
I mean, with the bias, the Nuggets got swept. So
the MVP got swept up.
Yeah, I got swept round 2 by the Suns. So it wasn't great, but it was still overall. Give it a 7.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that one. We don't like Giannis. Well, I didn't like Giannis because what he said about Harden. So
yeah, he got my
man.
man.
Just go away. So, so I definitely didn't want to see him win it. He is a likable dude, obviously, but it's like he had a history with Harden. So for that reason, I didn't like him. But Harden left, so hindsight, I guess it don't really matter now. But yeah, that one, I don't really remember anything. Like I always remember something.
You remember the KD? That the foot on the line?
I remember it, but like that wasn't. I don't know. That wasn't that impactful for me, I guess. So I'll probably get on like a 6.5, maybe just a 6.
That was an exciting playing game. Curry versus LeBron. I was very excited. I was like, these two players should not be in the playing game, and that's when LeBron was making fun of the playing game, saying this is so freaking stupid. He likes that playing game now, though. You the 10th seed, now you like the playing game. But you were the 7th seed. I hate this. Now you the 10th seed, you love it. I feel you. Contradiction is beautiful. Zach, what do you think?
I give it a 6. Definitely not as good as last season. I give it a 6 for a few reasons. One, I got to watch the Suns lose, so that's awesome. Don't like the Suns. I know y'all don't like Giannis for his comments he made towards Harden. Although I feel like I feel like it was a mutual disrespect to each other because I think he used to always just say all he has is one move and that's just.
He said that after. He said that after because Giannis kept.
I couldn't remember if he started it. I figured it was Giannis that started it just because it's Giannis. He don't take nothing serious. He's a goof.
It pissed me off though, but we're good now.
But yeah, and then also that little run that the Hawks went on was pretty cool to watch. Who really expected the Hawks to go to the conference finals?
They were in Game 6 too. I was like, Hawks will make.
They were literally right there. Now I think they would have lost to the Suns for sure. The Suns I feel like would have won, and
nobody would have watched that finals.
Huh?
Nobody would have watched. That would have been the least watched finals in history.
I think it was already. No, actually, it was pretty heavy. Was it heavily watched?
It was less watched than normal.
Was it? Okay, it's the LeBron effect.
But the Trae Young effect don't exist. There would have been no one watching that. It would have been Hawks fans and Suns fans. It would have been.
Well, Atlanta would have been turned up though. Like when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, but yeah,
they couldn't finish that. There's no tough, but yeah, the Hawks would have bored. The Hawks, even if it was 7-game Super Series, you have 100,000 people watching it. So Zach, what did you rate it from 1 to 10? If you did, what'd you rate it?
I give it a 6. Kind of like a so-so rating, Like there were some things I liked, some things I didn't really like, but I give it a 6.
And then we enter the last one, last year's postseason. And last year's postseason, Steph Curry had his good plot run. It was good. Nikola Jokic had no one. Ja Morant got hurt. The Suns blew their lead and ruined their stuff. And then Jason Tatum completely disappeared in the finals. So that's good for Steph Curry. But it was more legitimate than his other championships. So congratulations on that. Which is stupid how even multiple people getting injured, that's still more legitimate than everything you've done before. Good for you. Plot always comes back to you. They said let's give him a pass. Let's do a little more for it. Let's not give him too much, but let's let him win still because it's plot. Good for you. But besides that, Luka Doncic. Oh, John, what you about to say?
Oh no, I was just. Go ahead.
Okay, so Luka Doncic went and dropped off the Suns. Devin Booker looked at the camera and said, "Luka Magic," and then obviously his plot went downhill from there. Immediately, which is hilarious and terrible for him. The Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies was entertaining. I remember Patrick Beverley was so happy when they beat the Clippers and they won a championship. So congratulations on them for he threw his jersey in the crowd.
He stood on that table like he was LeBron.
Yeah, he did.
After they won that series, he stood up like he was the top of the world.
He was happy, and Karl-Anthony Towns was kissing his girlfriend. It was like they just solved world hunger, but they were happy. The Minnesota Timberwolves were very happy that day. And when you're a team that has no plot, it's fine to celebrate because they have no plot. So, from one moment, they faced another team that had no plot as well, and they won. So,
it started off competitive against the Grizzlies, though, right?
That was very competitive. Yeah, the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves just kept blowing leads because they have no plot. They kept blowing. They kept blowing leads because no one wants to see the Timberwolves get too far. Like their first round, we'll give you that, but no, we're not. No second round. We don't want face to face in Golden State. That's not going to do nothing for us. We need to see John Morant, Gideon, Gritty, and all that. We need that. We need John Morant. So there you go. But let me see what else happened. What happened in the East? The East was kind of chill. I feel like. Oh no, Jason Tatum and Milwaukee. Those two were going back. Oh, and KD got swept. That's tough. Yeah, KD got swept in that first one. That was pretty terrible for him and Kyrie. And it's funny, KD got swept the same year Steph Curry won the championship. That sucks for you. That hurts your legacy. That definitely hurts your legacy a lot. So yeah, I'll give it it was cool. The conference finals was cool too. Heat, kind of random one seed, but Jimmy Butler took a three because he said he got the balls to steal. He took a three instead of trying to win, go to the finals. You're trying to make an all-time Miami Heat moment. Instead, he got an all-time Miami Heat blunder. They end up, obviously losing. I give it a 7.5. I give it was cool. Steph Curry winning again, kind of was like but I saw he faced Jason Tatum. I was like, I literally compared Celtics Warriors to Eagles and Chiefs. I literally compared because I was like, the 6'3" light skinned man who's the main character clearly gonna win this. He's clearly now the other team may make it competitive for moments and times, but I was like, that's clearly more important for his plot than the other team's plot. Jason Tatum won championship. Congratulations, you won the championship. Steph Curry win championship. You're top 10 all time, baby. Plot. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I'll give this one like an 8.5. Just off of that meme created by Patrick Beverly alone. Like, I like when they like. There's more to it than just basketball being played. Like there's stories behind it. Like KD getting swept, and then you got Curry winning his. So obviously you see who's more important. Things like so. It was a lot going on behind the scenes, not just the basketball being played on the court. So yeah, I'll give this one an 8.5. Oh, it's just funny that Patrick Beverly is always behind something. Like he's the reason for the KD saying I'm Kevin Durant. Like he's always behind something. He's just entertaining.
He's very entertaining. I miss Pat, man. I miss Pat. We miss you in Houston, man.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at trading. Yeah, I'm not mad we traded him. I got Chris Paul. I'm not mad at that. But we do miss you though. Jared, what do you think?
I'd go 6.5.
You lost in 5, huh? Is that why?
Yeah, Nuggets had the Warriors first round. Lost in 5.
What a way for the MVP to start it off, huh?
Yeah. It's not a good start to the postseason, but overall it's solid. You can see the plot unfolding like you saw. Yeah.
The plot. Because at the same time, funny, Steph Curry win championship. James Harden faces the Heat, Game 6. Terrible. He takes 0 shots, I think, in the second half. Chris Paul, Game 7, hits a 3, down 40. They make a meme on that. Chris Paul hits a 3 to cut the lead to 42. Chris Paul has like 1 point entering the fourth quarter. So it's like the 3 people, like KD, Harden, and Chris Paul, all 3 of them literally hurt their legacy while Steph Curry increased his. Because that is plot. Yeah, that's good. Steph, you're the main character, man. What can I say? You're the main character. I just bowed out to you. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Jared, if you face him in the second round, and Zach, if you face him in the first round, I don't know. Plot is strong. I don't know. Main characters.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. He's Steph Curry get hot. Your legacy hurt and shambles. Zach, what do you think about last year's postseason?
So with this series, I'd give it like an 8. Only because I don't really care that the Warriors won it. I honestly, personally, would have rather watched the Celtics. But watching Andrew Wiggins kind of not necessarily revive his career, because he was always a really pretty good scorer. It's just a lot of people always said his stats were empty just because it never led to any wins. Like, he didn't lead them anywhere. And then taking him to the Warriors, where he's their best defender, basically the whole playoffs. He was like the most important player in that whole finals series, especially. So that was pretty cool to watch. I always like watching players kind of revive or prove the doubters and all that. I always like kind of watching that, even just even as a Kings fan, watching it as like just a regular sports fan. And then, I mean, since I haven't seen the Kings go in a while, I kind of rooted for the Mavs in this one just because I grew up in close to Dallas. So I was like, well, I'll go for the home team for now. My team ain't going for a while. Little do I know they go this year.
You were wrong, man.
But yeah, that was fun watching that too. It kind of showed how much they really needed Jalen Brunson, a secondary ball handler next to Luka. It really showed this season how they shouldn't have let him walk, but and then Jason Kidd isn't helping, but that's another story. But yeah, that was a fun playoff to watch.
It was definitely really cool. I would tell you, Andrew Wiggins going to Golden State and being just significantly better. And he's not better, but he's like more impactful. And like him winning a championship, I was like, oh, if he went to a lot of other teams, he would have been just, it would have been cool. But he went to plot. And when you go to the main character's realm, you end up being dunking on Luka Doncic and defending Jason Tatum like hell. Like, hey man, play with Steph Curry. Ask KD how good it is playing with Steph Curry. Won 2 championships, 2 Finals MVPs. Ask KD while not playing with Steph Curry. Won 0 championships and just got swept. You see the difference plot does for you? Be with Naruto. Go to Naruto. Be main character.
Oh yeah, but also to add to that, yeah, he finally won his MVP, his Finals MVP, because then that take away our argument. But also to add to that, it was. It was. I enjoy seeing the Celtics go far and make it to the finals. I remember back in 2018. I think it was 2018. Was that their rookie year?
Mm-hmm.
I just remember whatever year that was when he had dunked on LeBron.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, these guys are gonna be pretty good. So watching them progress and being able to make it to the finals, and obviously they didn't get it done, but eventually, hopefully they will. So yeah, I enjoy seeing them play.
I'll tell you the last point, like you just said just now. The last point I'm gonna make, that definitely hurt my argument when I troll Golden State fans, because what I did for years is that they was like James Harden's this and James Harden's that, and I was like no. But James Harden and Steph Curry both have Finals MVPs. How you been to 5 Finals and not won a Finals MVP? Like, what are you doing? Are you just standing around? What are you doing? Right? Are you walking around there? I was like, if Harden had KD and Klay Thompson, all that, then he won a championship too. I trolled them, and they were so pissed, and I had a great time. I was in class doing that, because the teacher wouldn't tell me nothing. I was in class just trolling Warriors fans on Twitter. But I can't do that no more, because I can't make that argument now. He has the Finals MVP too. He cried. Steph Curry was crying because now because he knows that's the thing's holding him back. And I was like, dang. The main character gets everything now. You couldn't let the main character retire without that. So
yeah, no asterisks, no Mickey towards it. So just straight up. Because I think the Celtics were a good enough team.
Yeah, they were.
Like,
but
he just won it. Like, there's nothing we could say. Like, the first year, Andre Iguodala won it, and Kyrie and them got hurt, and KD and all of that stuff. So there's a lot you could say. But now, like, he just straight up won it. So
I'll tell you. Yeah. When he faced Boston, you just beat Boston. I ain't gonna say, look, the road may be a little iffy, but you beat Boston. Congratulations, Steph Curry. I was trying to keep James Harden around your realm and area for a while, because I think they're like the same level of players, just you have significantly more plot. But unfortunately, though, James Harden still hasn't got his plot, and Steph Curry keeps having his. Well, hopefully, I'm tired. These main characters. I'll tell you one thing. There's one thing I'll tell you. And last thing I'm going to tell you, basketball and football and all these sports are more tolerable when you know who the main character is. Because you can come in, because for years you have hope. You're like, I think my guy going to win championship. I think I'm going to do this. But when you know who's the main character, you say, okay, I'm going to lose to this guy. I don't know how. I don't know why. But I'm going to lose. Now, maybe the script give you plot that one year. That's your only hope. But Jared, Zach, if you face Steph Curry in the postseason, you are going to lose. I don't know how. I don't know why. But you're going to lose. Because he is the main character. Jared, Zach, if you face LeBron in the postseason, you're going to lose. I don't know how and why. I don't know. I have no clue. Injuries. Someone going off. Someone underperforming. You're going to lose. Face the Timberwolves. To face the Mavericks. The Suns have no plot. Even though they got KD, he's going to get injured again. Face someone else. don't face the main characters. They're both in the same conference, and they're both scheduled to probably play you. Avoid them. Jared, you did it great.
Yeah.
You tanked. When we were going to play, you tanked and made sure that we weren't going to face you. Do that again. Or Zach, you're more likely to do that. Do that.
Yeah.
Because it's not fun facing the main character. Trust me. I've done it for years. Did for like 5 out of 6 years. Lost every time. With
The
that,
only thing I can hope for is Mike Brown, like, since he knows the Warriors, like, in and out for being with as an assistant for the past 6 years. Only thing I can hope for is that he can figure out some defensive way. Because, man, if they play defense like they've played in the regular season, first round exits.
Yeah, because Zach, you hope. Don't hope. Just watch.
All you can do is hope, man. Hope the
watch.
script writers are on my side.
I hoped for years. John, I hoped when we were up 3-2 and Chris, I hoped for years. I have no plot. And that's fine. Thank you guys for joining this wonderful podcast. That was very fun. Reliving nostalgia. The Rockets haven't been good for a while, so I was able to relive some of that. Jared and Zach, your teams are good right now. I wish y'all the best for the postseason. You have 2 weeks. Get your affairs in order, Zach. Get into aromatherapy. Get into yoga. Get into any stress reliever possible. Take walks in the park. I think you have a dog. Hang out with your dog as much as possible because if you get into some game 7s, good God. Jared, you had a couple of them. And they're stressful. And the Rockets, I can't take those. I got to take a break from those. It took a couple years off. I'm still not ready. So y'all get ready for that. John, all I can really hope for us is I'm watching the lottery. That's my game 7. Number 1 pick. Try to get Victor Wembanyama so I can get back up. That's all I need. Give me some Victor Wembanyama. I need that plot. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Y'all were subscribing like crazy from that last video. Do it for this video. I don't think you made this. You may not have made it this far. But if you have, I love you. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We will catch y'all on the next one. We're out of here. Peace.